Now I am going to deal with trigonometry. Okay, do an x-axis and a y-axis. Take 2 units along the x-axis like -1 and +1. With this measurement is 2 units. Take a compass, draw an arc with 2 units from here and 2 units from here. Join them and thus you get an equilateral triangle with an angle being 60 degree on all the vertices. Now cut this across into 2. Take this cut piece here, this is 60 with 1 unit here and 2 units here and a √3 here according to Pythagoras theorem, and the angle here will be 30 because we have cut the 60 into 2. So sin 60 is opposite by hypotenuse, which is √3 by 2. Cos 60, which is adjacent by hypotenuse, is 1 by 2. Tan 60, which is opposite by adjacent, is √3 by 1. Sin 30 will be opposite by hypotenuse, which is 1 by 2. Cos 30 will be adjacent by hypotenuse, which is √3 by 2. Tan 30 will be opposite by adjacent, which is 1 by √3. So this is how you must learn and not memorize what was given in the textbook last year. You should understand how these came. Take an axis again with 1 unit here and 1 unit here. You join this, you get an isosceles triangle with 45 degree angle, and therefore by Pythagoras theorem it is 1 √2. So thus sin 45 will be opposite by hypotenuse, which is 1 by √2. Cos 45 will be adjacent by hypotenuse, which is 1 by √2. Tan 45 will be opposite by adjacent, which is 1 by 1, which is 1. The reciprocal of sin being cosecant, cos being secant, tan being cot. I am sure you all know all this, but the values, you must understand how these values came. And you look at these values, they are all positive values because they are all lying between 0 and 90 degree. A 30 degree, a 45 degree or a 60 degree, all of them lie only in the first quadrant, and that is why all were positive. And the angle goes 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this will be 270, and back again it is 360 degree. Okay, the clock goes like this, correct? So let us look at how sin 0 is. What is sin 0? This leave 1 unit here, the coordinate being 1, 0, 0, 1, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1. Cos corresponds to x value and the sin corresponds to y value. So this is 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, and this is 360 degree back again, which is equal to 0 degree again. So cos 0 is 1, sin 0 is 0, cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1, cos 180 is minus 1, sin 180 is 0, cos 270 is 0, sin 270 is minus 1. So this is how we get these values. I hope you understood. Okay. You also learned complementary angles such as sin theta, which can be written as cos 90 minus theta. Why was it that the cos became sin? Because it was an odd integral of 90. Odd integrals of 90, cos will remain sin. A cos theta can be written as sin 90 minus theta. So these are known as the complementary angle of sin is called. Complementary of cos is sin. Tan theta is cot 90 minus theta. These are all complementary because you are writing in terms of 90, and these are odd integrals. When the odd integrals, a cos will become sin, a sin will become cos, a cot will become tan, and so on. And all these is 90 minus, and hence all of them belong to only first quadrant. See, you have learnt only about first quadrant last year, but this year there are 4 quadrants, first, second, third and fourth, where all is positive. In the second quadrant, sin values alone will be positive. Third quadrant, tan value alone will be positive. In the fourth quadrant, cos alone will be positive. All sin, tan and cos. We simply remember it as all school torture children, all school torture children. So that way you will remember the first word will indicate which is positive there. This is cos. Okay. So all school torture children. So let's find out how to find an angle in the second quadrant. You know a 30° in the first quadrant. You can write an angle in the second quadrant by doing 180 minus 30, which is 150, 180 minus 60, because this is 180°, correct? So 180 minus 30 is 150, 180 minus 45. What is 180 minus 45? Is it 115? 135, sorry. So 135° and 180 minus 60, which is 120°. So these are all the examples of second quadrant angles. How am I finding? I am subtracting this 30°, a 45° or a 60° from 180 and trying to find out the angles which is in the second quadrant. I could have also done it as 90 plus. A 120° is 90 plus 30. A 90 plus 45 is 135, a 90 plus 60 is 150. So we can jump into the second quadrant by adding from 90 or subtracting from 180. Similarly, if you want to find an angle in the third quadrant, this is 180 and this is 270. You can either add to 180 or subtract from 270. 180 plus 30. An example of a third quadrant is 210. 180 plus 45, 225. 180 plus 60, 240. These are all examples of third quadrant. Similarly, 270 minus 60. A 270 minus 45. A 270 minus 30. Can you see you can have two approaches to arrive at an angle at the third quadrant. A fourth quadrant angle, it will be 270 plus or 360 minus. Correct? Say 270 plus 30 is 300°. 270 plus 45 is 315°. 270 plus 60 is 330°. A 360 minus 60 will also be 300. 360 minus 45 will be 315. A 360 minus 30 will be 330. So you can, anybody ask you an example of the first, second or third quadrant, you can readily think of and say, such as the first quadrant angles are 30, 45, 60, between 0 and 90°. Between 90 and 180, what are the angles you know? 120, 135, then 150. These are all the examples of second quadrant angles. A third quadrant angle, 210, 225 plus 60, 240. A fourth quadrant angle between 270 and 360. You can write 330, 300° or 315°. So thus you can readily say examples of first, second, third and fourth quadrant. As you all know, all will be positive, all values will be positive. Sine's value alone will be positive, or its reciprocal, which is cosecant. School torture, tan alone will be positive in the third quadrant, or cot, its reciprocal. All school torture children, cos alone will be positive in the fourth quadrant, reciprocal, which is secant. Okay. So hope you are clear. So let me elaborate on it so that you will understand more. See, supposing the question is cos 135. You can write this as in two ways, cos 90 plus 45 or cos 180 minus 45, correct? I told you how you can write an angle in the second quadrant. You can either jump from 90 or from 180, correct? So, a cos 35 is the question. You can write it as cos 90 plus 45 or cos 180 minus 45. This is an odd integral 1 into 90, whereas this is an even integral 2 into 90. You've come across this last year where cos will become sin 45. But you have to now think which quadrant is the question in. It's about the second quadrant where only sin is positive. But the question here is about cos, so minus sin 45, which is minus 1 by root 2. This is an even integral. For an even integral, cos will remain cos only. You can write cos 45. Again, here the question is second quadrant. Only sin is question, it's positive, but unfortunately the question is positive. Cos is about cos, so answer is negative, which is minus 1 by root 2. So either way, it's up to you to write whether as 90 plus or 180 minus to arrive at a second quadrant angle. Your answer will remain the same. Let's do a sum in the third quadrant. Tan only should be positive in the third quadrant. So let me do a cos 240. A cos 240 is the second question, which I can write it as cos 180 plus 60 or cos 270 minus 30. A third quadrant can be 180 plus or 270 minus. This is 2 into 90, which is even integral, so cos will remain cos 60. Which quadrant is 240? Is in the third quadrant. All sugar tea, tan only is positive, or all school torture. So tan only is positive, so minus cos, because the question here is about cos minus cos 60. And what is cos 60? Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2. This is an odd integral 3 into 90. So cos will become sin 30, and again which quadrant? Third quadrant is where the question is. Only tan can be positive. So this is question is cos, so minus sin 30, whose answer is again minus 1 by 2. See, either approach will lead you to the same answer. Whether you write it as an even integral or you write it as an odd integral, it's completely up to you. I'll give you an example of a third quadrant. Now done, third quadrant is done. I'll give you an example of the fourth quadrant. Only cos, question is cos, it will be positive, otherwise everything will be negative. So let's do a tan 300 or tan 330. Yeah, let's do tan 330. This can be written as either tan 360 minus 30, correct, or tan 270 plus 60. This is 3 into 90 odd, so tan will become cot 60. And which quadrant is this in? 330. It's going to be in the fourth quadrant where all sugar tea cup cos only is positive. The question is about tan, so minus cot 60. And what is cot 60's value? It's a reciprocal of tan 60, which is root 3 by 1, so 1 by root 3. Minus 1 by root 3 is cot 60. If it's an even integral, it's 4 into 90 is an even integral, so tan will remain tan 30. Which quadrant again? Fourth quadrant, only cos is positive, so minus tan 30. You still get the same answer whether you approach as an odd integral or as an even integral of 90. I hope you're clear. Once you're done with this video and you're very clear, if not, you can always give me a call and explain to you over phone. Once you're very clear, you let me know so that we'll proceed with the next video.